Avatar. Was it? You said we're
All right,
starting off with the
all right, okay,
villains.
we're recording all right now. All right, okay.
Yeah, you said we're starting off with the villains.
No, we're starting off with favorite book order.
Favorite book order.
Yes.
Okay then. So favorite book order for me would probably be, I don't know, maybe either. So the first book was my least favorite book, and then the other two, I don't know which one would go where.
I want to say, well, for the first book was a lot of just character development juices for the main characters, but the finale was really good of the first book. Like the last episodes were probably the best part about the book, and then book two, and you got book three, and you can't really. It's kind of hard to pick. Like it's really hard to pick. 'Cause I didn't like. I feel like there's lots of people who kind of just cherish like the Bossing Say arc, and I liked the Bossing Say arc, but I don't think I liked it as much as the other stuff that went on during book three. But then there's also the fact that you have Zuko and Arrow, so it's very hard to choose.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's when Zuko and Arrow were like the most involved, because in book one they were just trying to capture the Avatar.
As they normally do. Well, I
As
mean,
they
except
normally
for
do.
Iroh just sitting there. Iroh's only motivation is mahjong.
But we're gonna talk about Arrow later.
Yeah.
Tease for later. So we're starting off with villains, and we're gonna start with Azula, because everyone loves Azula apparently in the Avatar fandom.
Well, yeah, because she's this insane girl that has this that clearly, because we've seen her past in the show, that she was basically born insane. Because her mother was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Like,
Well, I think it's obvious. Yeah, she's probably pretty insane, and then it also is combined with the fact that she wants to be the best. She wants to do everything that a Fire Lord tells her to do. She's like, I'm gonna be the best, and then she's also completely insane, and she gets a lot of clout. One, because Zuko and Arrow aren't really villains, and two, because there's not really any other better villains than her. She's got the strategy down. She's got the threatening factor to her. She killed the Avatar. Gives her a pretty good clout. So I mean,
if only he stayed dead.
yeah, exactly. So Azula kind of fills out all the main villain stuff,
Yeah,
and then
because
we're gonna talk about. Wait, no, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say yeah, because like there's no other villain that even matches up to that standard. Because no other villain's that great. They either become good guys or they're really bland villains.
Well, yeah, it's kind of regular, bland. Ty Lee and May, even to an extent, weren't actually villains. Like May are fucking insane villains.
Yeah, Ty Lee joined the was it Suki's Warriors or Kyoshi Warriors, and
At
then
the
was
end,
it
yeah.
May was just following Zuko, and Zuko became the Avatar's friend. So guess where she went?
Exactly.
Like,
And I mean, it's so I think everyone should have watched Avatar by now, but there's spoilers for Avatar.
don't worry, I put spoilers in every title.
All right, that's good. And then so Ty Lee, I liked Ty Lee more than May, because May I just didn't like her. Just kind of bland. Just kind of I don't like anything. Like you say that some people, or what'd you say earlier about May?
It's just whether you like her personality or not, honestly. Because
I
what is it?
didn't.
Her main motivations were just friends. A lot of the time, she doesn't really care about anything else, which adds on to the fact that she's just kind of was it emotionless kind of person. Even though she has emotions and she shows them, she acts like she's emotionless a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and that adds on to the like she has basically no motivations. So some
And
people
then
actually like her character because they just like her personality, and really nothing more than that. It's not like she got all this character development.
no, she just kind of has that personality, and I mean Azula. Well, her power was just blue fire and lightning, and then so she was just another firebender, a ridiculously powerful firebender.
But
But like Ty Lee, she used pressure points to shut off bending, which was cool.
Yeah, she's a chi blocker.
And May just threw knives and never killed anyone with any of the knives she threw. It's a kid's show, but like, come on,
I
she's
didn't
really
even
good at
remember
like,
what her ability was at all.
yeah, she has mastered the art of missing every knife that she throws at someone.
God damn it, save that for Star Wars.
Misses it just a little bit. And let's talk about the Fire Lord himself.
He's like the worst villain ever. The only thing good about him is the what is it? It's the 3-book long anticipation of Aang having to actually face him.
Well, you said earlier that it was more the threat of him, not really the huge motivation. I'm this motivation villain with 3D angles and sides.
I am a fucking polygon.
Yeah. So he's just kind of he was cool in his fight, and he did a lot of stuff, but he didn't have much to him. That's fine sometimes. Sometimes it's fine.
Yeah,
Sometimes
in this
right.
case where you're not really building him up in any other way but this presence, because it really the Fire Lord didn't do anything except for just be the Fire Lord. He didn't do anything to Aang specifically. It wasn't Aang that was the personal motivation with it. It was that Aang's the Avatar.
It was actually, yeah. It was. I think wasn't more Roku really.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was no, because Roku was his. With Roku,
yeah, I know.
was
He was friends with his father.
No,
but it was still kind of like
his grandfather.
Nah, it's the same thing. It's all the same.
Yeah, his grandfather became the Fire Lord and then wanted to take over, and then it just got passed down, and then it was Aang's job.
And I'm ready to wash the not really great villain out of my mouth with Iroh, because Iroh was he's kind of the heart of the show in some ways.
Well, he's definitely the best character in the show, so
he's the most praised character ever. Everyone loves him. I was watching videos about him earlier, and like he just great. Like he has the philosophy. So where you have all the other Fire Lords who want to uphold their prime and their power, and then Iroh, he just doesn't want that. He just kind of wants to have a simple life, and he's got a lot of advice to share.
He's a wise man and a beast of a man.
And he's also hilarious sometimes.
Yeah, because didn't you say? Because I don't even remember this episode, but you said that he just went with Zuko and they had to walk around to try to find his piece, and then it was just in his back pocket the entire time.
Yeah, his tile, his sleeve. He was like, "Zuko, you got to hear this. It was in my sleeve the entire time."
What a G! He was.
And then Zuko threw it away. Zuko.
Zuko's always angry about something.
And yeah, so now that kind of sucks, because now we're gonna talk about Zuko, who's also the best part of everything.
Yeah, it goes Iroh then Zuko on the best character list.
Yeah, Iroh and Zuko. Zuko has one of the best redemption arcs I've ever seen.
I think it was so great because it spanned it across so much, and then it also showed that he's just not a great villain. Like, he literally just never captured the Avatar. Like, he's been able to capture the Avatar, but when he does, like Iroh said in one clip, he was like, "What, you're gonna capture the Avatar again? What are you gonna do now? You never think about what's gonna happen next."
And then, like, how he did in at the end of book 1, and he would have just frozen to death with the Avatar.
That's fine. He killed the Avatar. His job done.
He's not supposed to kill the Avatar. He's supposed to bring the Avatar in.
Pish posh. If he's dead, it doesn't matter. He did his job. Goal is completed.
Even though Azula did tell the Fire Lord, she's like, Zuko killed the Fire Lord, or killed the Avatar when he came back to the Fire Nation, and that's why the Fire Lord was like, you're now actually my son. I don't disown you anymore. And then he disowned him again.
Nah, didn't Zuko leave that time though? I'm pretty
He
sure.
left. He left later.
Really? He didn't leave after that? I thought he left after that.
Wait, what part are you talking about?
See, a little things mixed up here and there because I don't remember a lot because it's been quite a while since I watched book 2 or 3. I watched book 1, but that was it.
Should we mention that I just watched Avatar and I've never watched it before, so I'm kind of fresh, got the fresh eyes on Avatar, and Jonathan watched it quite a long time ago.
Just give it a few
Centuries.
years, like 8.
Yeah, exactly. Centuries.
It's been centuries. So was it? Yeah, I thought he left after was it because like you had the character development with everybody like hanging out with Zula and her friends, and then Zuko. I thought that after that, once he realized that literally everything sucks there, I thought he left.
No, it was the turning point when he left was when he went to the meeting with the Fire Lord, and then he was like, he realized that he wasn't really himself. He wouldn't be being himself when he was at the meeting, and then that was when he decided, this is not the place for me. That with he wanted to regain his honor so bad that through doing it, he just kind of lost himself.
That's why Iroh was there the whole time to guide him.
And Iroh, it all worked out in the end. So Zuko, he's probably one of my, like, now that I've seen everything about him, because I like it when you take a character and he starts off as just, I don't really like him. He's just kind of a regular villain and he screams a lot. You don't like him.
I loved him.
And then at the beginning,
yeah, of course I loved him at the beginning. He was hilarious.
hilarious.
Not only was he funny, but he was just this over angry douchebag, and it was just a great character to watch.
Yeah, but then he just got better. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for better.
But he's definitely gonna go down as one of the best fictional characters out there. Even though that's when everyone talks about what's some of the best Western animation, it's Avatar is gonna come out of someone in the room's mouth. That's where Avatar book 1 it wasn't as good, but then it kind of jumped back on track. It was always on a kind of a straight and narrow path to where it wanted to end off, and then you got all the stuff in between, which was just all the good butter.
All the good.
Butter. And then so let's go on to the main group. Zuko's technically part of the main group, but not only in the last 10 episodes. So we're going with the main group.
All right, so apparently we're talking about Toph first.
Toph. Jonathan, you told me you pronounce it like tofu.
I did not.
You told me.
I said tofu.
You told me to pronounce it like tofu.
Is it Toph?
So Toph, what do you got to say about Toph?
I mean, she's all right. She was there. She didn't do anything bad. She was cool. I mean, I'm glad they used her instead of that other rock guy because they were gonna use like the person she went against and beat easily as the Earthbender that Aang was gonna learn from. It's cool that she's blind, and it was the fact that she was blind and treated helplessly, and then left and became this badass. That was pretty cool. She's a cool metal bender. I mean, she's all right.
She's all right. I'd say when I started off with Toph, I was just kind of like, she's kind of annoying. Like in the first couple episodes.
Yeah, that's because like as soon as they joined with her, she was like, "Yeah, I carry for myself."
Well, it was a good character development moment, but it was like even past that, she was kind of annoying to me. And then as you go and get to know her, she becomes just better. And I thought it was cool that she was blind. So she just kind of worked out in the end. And I think she was actually pretty useful a lot of the time. So she was all around just kind of good. Just like, we're gonna move right on to Sokka now.
I love Sokka.
Because I don't love him as much as you do.
It's because he's just a great character.
No, he has his moments. So like, yeah, you said he shows how he's got to work for the things he wants.
Yeah,
He's got to really
everybody
put
else
in
was
the
born with bending, and all they had to do
yeah.
was learn how
Everyone
to
else
bend.
has bending,
He's just
so
literally a normal person.
he kind of had to struggle and fight, and I liked that about him. But I kind of felt like he was good. He was like I said, he was the best. He was good in book one, and he was good throughout all the books. But he had some of the least character development because it was mostly just him throwing around. He was just the comic relief, and sometimes I felt a little bit suffocated by the fact that he was comic relief, mostly just all comic relief. Like there's a serious moment, and then he just kind of like gotta make a joke, gotta not make a serious thing out of the situation ever at all.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's so you're saying that he didn't get a lot of character development, but a lot of his character development was because he was like your thing's echoing, but nonetheless, it was in the beginning. He was what was it called? He was sexist and thought that he was great at everything, and then he was broken down and then built back up, and later on he was broken down by the fact that he was the only one who couldn't bend, and then he had to find his place as something else, and then he learned that he was the leader because he could strategize better than anyone else on the team.
Yeah, and I do think it is true that the show wouldn't be the same without him, because there was a scene where they were trying to strategize and they were planning for something, and then there was just nothing to fill the void. And I think Sokka fills the void, but sometimes he takes up the void a little bit too much. But he's still an all around. I like him. Pretty great guy. Not gonna hate on Sokka for too long.
Now his sister.
So you said you didn't like Katara as much, and yet I liked Katara more than Sokka. At the end, at least. At the end.
She had
Not
some
the
pretty
beginning.
great episodes. She had the one where actually we're not going to talk about those yet. That's for later on. But she had a
You don't
pretty.
want. She had the. Are you talking about the bloodbending episodes? The episodes that she had in season 3, pretty much.
Well, the father one, and then the blood bending. So she had some good episodes, but like I think it's just her personality that kind of strikes me.
No, I liked her personality. It was decent. Like she was kind of like the mother. She was the
No, she was trying to be the mother very hard.
yeah, trying to be the mother, but
Got
she had the she was kind of annoying in book 1 at first, kind of like Toph, and then she just she built herself up and just got turned into a better. Because one of my favorite moments with her was when she fought her soon-to-be master, just because she wanted to learn how to waterbend, and she just got into a fight with him. First of all, I like the fight, and second of all, it just says a lot about her character without having her say it. She just kind of does it.
Yeah, that was a good episode to see her fight that the master, especially since Aang wouldn't be taught by the master anymore.
Yeah. And then, so shall we move on to Aang? Anything else to say about Katara?
Nah, I think I've said my piece.
All right, then. Let's go on to Aang then.
I feel like Aang is quite underwhelming for this amazing show.
Underwhelming. I feel like underwhelming is a little bit of a harsh word.
No, I said kind of.
I feel like the word kind of underwhelming is kind of underwhelming.
God damn it. So, for a show that's so great, he's just doesn't hand up to par with the show. Like, he's just this basic kind of, it was a kid, and it's really nothing more than that.
Now, again, I think it's the situation. So he's trained to be a pacifist. He's not really. I don't think he's also supposed to be a crazy, got all these dimensions character. I almost feel like the other characters fill in the void that is Aang. And Aang's still a solid protagonist. I've watched the shows. I've watched RWBY. I watched oh god, She-Ra, I don't want to die. But I watched She-Ra, and the protagonist's pretty weak. And then you watched Aang's still a really great protagonist for what he is at
He's
face value.
he's solid. I mean, for a lot of protagonists are just basic. Like either they're basic, they're basic bad, or surprisingly good.
Yeah,
It's
Aang's
one of those three.
relatively basic.
It's all those three. It is one of those three. It can't be anything more than that.
I think he's kind of the middle ground almost. Like he's
Yeah, he's kind of basic, but like he did have some character development when he got shot and almost died, and then grew hair. So he did have some character development there, but other than that,
oh yeah, he had solid character. I think it was just solid in general. Solid character development. I liked him and Katara getting together because it was kind of you expected the entire thing. You threw the entire thing, and I felt bad for Aang personally because he just kind of kept getting sidelined by Katara.
uh,
Even after they had their first kiss, Katara was like, "No, I don't even know."
let me
You gotta
think about it.
feel bad for Aang. But I think it all turned out great in the end. So now we're gonna scooch on to the last part, our favorite moments and our favorite episodes, either one.
Ah, we all know my favorite episode. My favorite episode was when Sokka got trained by the Master of Swords.
Master of Swords. Is that all?
That's my favorite episode. I'll move on, but that was my favorite episode because I love Sokka, and then to watch him have to work for for something like Aang had to learn all these bendings, but like a lot of it he picked up easily. Like I think firebending was the only one he couldn't pick up super easily. He had
Well,
to
I think
learn
he just didn't want to pick it up really.
to be good at it and to pick it up easily is different things because he wasn't good at them. He could pick up like waterbending. Katara was like, I've been trying this move for a while, and he was like, oh, this one, like,
Is this the movie you're talking about? Not that hard.
So like, and then Zuko, goddamn it, and then Sokka had to actually like train to get even to get a sword.
Yeah. So like, that's one of the things I like the best about Sokka's character. Just like he kind of you gotta struggle, you gotta fight, and he fought for everything he had. And his boomerang might have been the best part. The MVP of the show.
The boomerang who one-shot Combustion Man.
Yes. But so I just I watched, or I didn't rewatch it. It's my first time. Watched all of it. And like favorite moments. So book one, when I go over all the like book one, you have the finale. The finale in and of itself was just great. And then book two, you have there was the tales from Ba Sing Se, and then Iroh. So there was the tale of Iroh, and that was my favorite. That my things about it because so it was the one where it was his son's birthday. Excuse me while I shut my door. It was his son's birthday, and he was going around and making everyone happy. And then, so when I watched it, I was in the car. I had Netflix on my show, or on my phone. So I was just kind of watching it. And then at the end where he was singing to his dead son, and then I rewatched it today, and I was like choking. I was getting choked up watching. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm not a person who cries about shows, and then I'm like, oh damn, Iroh, you fucking got me. So Iroh wins, and then
Iroh wins.
Iroh wins, and there's the moment with Zuko where he redirected the lightning at the Fire Lord. That kind of capped off his character development. That's what I liked the most about it. And then, like, of course, there was like you can. That's the funny part. I'm talking about Iroh and Zuko, and not even mentioning the main cast.
They're just not as good.
It's not as good. Like I already said, I liked the part where Katara attacked, or when she first attacked her soon-to-be master. That was a good one. And Aang, see, I mean, he doesn't really have. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when he got super angry because Appa had just been stolen, but
He got angry a lot, like when they were trying to get him into his avatar state by drowning Katara in sand.
yeah, he was really pissed at that moment. That was a good episode. I like that one. Because then, as soon as they got him into his avatar state, they were like, "Shit, we fucked up.
We might have made a mistake."
We weren't ready for this.
But and I also thought the fights weren't going to be as good, but they were pretty good. I like my fight scenes, to say the least. And I didn't think Avatar was going to have a lot. I think it's also because I kind of downvoted it, and then it had better fight scenes than I expected. Mostly in the way they use bending, because there's really nothing else you can do there.
Well, yeah, it's a show about bending.
It's a show about bending, so they got to use bending. By the way, what else have we not touched on? Do we have to touch on anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
All right then, kids. That's what we got for Avatar. It's kind of coming back into mainstream, so I mean, you figure we got to make the show. We gotta make the thing about this.
We gotta make a thing about this, and we will definitely make an episode when the Netflix series comes out.
There's a Netflix series.
Yeah, they're coming out with a Netflix Avatar series.
Wait, like what? Like what kind of? What do you mean?
They're remaking the this regular series, this Avatar series, but they're gonna have more character development in it.
They're okay.
They're redoing the first 3 books, but they're gonna they're gonna put even more character development in it because of the normal Netflix 1 hour shows. So they're redoing it, but it's gonna be different because they have a lot of more time.
So they're redoing it. Why don't they,
Oh, but it's also live action.
That could be a problem. That could be a problem. That could be quite the hinderment, because you remember the Avatar movie. I didn't even watch it, but I watched a scene from it, and I might have thrown up in my mouth a little bit. That was terrible.
Don't worry, I watched the whole movie.
So obviously it was even worse. Show. I watched a scene, and I'm just like, oh. So, that's the funny thing. Why would they choose to do live action? Last time they did live action Avatar, it didn't turn out well at all.
That's because that's Netflix's thing. They do live actions.
Goddamn it, Netflix.
I feel like they probably just don't think there'd be a reason to remake it if they're just gonna make it an animation.
Yeah, I mean, Cis Minos is kind of an Avatar style.
You remake it in Cis Minos style.
Yes, same style. Just a little bit different. It's awesome. But either way, that's. Right, so we gotta do the final rankings.
The final ranking, I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. So I was gonna give it higher, but a 9 out of 10 is gonna have to suffice. Maybe a 9.5, but probably a 9 out of 10. Some falls, but they never chalk up to the rise of the fucking show.
Yeah, there are some problems. I'd say season 1 probably had the most problems, just because it was mostly just little character moments and character development and all that.
Supposed to be really episodic.
And then just jokes. So I would probably say that season 1 could have been better, but other than that, the rest of the show is pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right, so 9 out of 10. Final stance. It gets a thumbs up.
Yeah, it gets a thumbs up.